we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. They'll take for their disease. Rage is like a weed, spread into the streets. It's time to make them bleed. 'Cause we just want retribution. Let's go light up the darkness. Make true of an empty promise. Flip gods into weak and harmless. Take to the streets and turn them to a mosh pit. 'Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make great.
All right, guys, let's get this party started. If you want a reading, be sure and visit my stand store. It is linked in the description below. And as always, we have a fair use, a disclaimer. As you come in, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and share the video if you like it. Let's get it going. TGIF, guys. Welcome to Astrology for Mystics. I'm your host, astrologer Jennifer Jennings, and today is an intense day. It's not just intense for summer. If you wrote anything down, you know it's for Sebastian too. It's for Sebastian too. And I want to put on my screen for just a second Orb Attraction. Girl, I like it. It's so cute. It is so cute, guys. Handmade it. Handmade it. I feel like, drawing something. But thank you, babe. I appreciate the gifts. It is so sweet. So kind, so generous. Thank you so much. All right, so let's get this show on the road, guys. Let's get this show on the road because I mean, we got some astrology to talk about. It's very intense. Intense with summer. Thanks, y'all. Thank you. It's so sweet. It's just so sweet. Now I've got two beanies. Now I've got two. I'm excited. And here's the birthday girl. Here's the birthday girl. I would play my birthday song for you, but it the last time that I played it, the short clip, like 30 seconds, said that it was a copyright, even though it's from YouTube Music. But everybody wish April a happy birthday today. Solar return. Exciting, girl. Exciting. I hope your day is as beautiful as you are. I hope you have a magnificent day. I'm sure it's going to be eventful. I'm sure it'll be great, though. I'm sure it would be wonderful. Hey, Sunflower. Jill, look at all you guys. Mama Rissa, happy Friday. Yes, happy birthday. I would sing it to you, but I don't know that that would be sufficient here. Busy mom at home is going to be in the bushes. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much, Kim. Hey, good to see you guys. Witchy Mama, Orb Attraction, Jeff, Deanna, Lori. And if I miss any of you guys, I'm sorry. I'm going through it really quick. Lisa, Michelle. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, we got a true crime and chaos. I like that. True crime and chaos. Love it. Yes, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Hey, me and you. Good to see you. Good to see you guys. So today, if y'all remember, which I go over so much, it's hard to remember. Yesterday, I started like this new little live. I really wasn't sure how to get you guys into it, but Jennifer Lynn Fay, Faith Roach, Kevin Mailer, all that saga, it's ramping back up and I can see it, I can feel it. And I think that it would be a good, little fresh air, I guess, if you can call it that. It's April's birthday today. Thank you. Need 4 more members to go live. Join me. Oh, okay. All right. True Crime and Chaos says she just needs 4 more. Just needs 4 more. So there is a lot of intensity surrounding Sebastian's public image. There is a lot of attention on school. And I don't know that we're going to hear anything about what we're seeing today, but you just never know. You just never know. Just never know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen and we're going to get into the astrology. We're going to get into the astrology. Let me see if it's going to show up nice and good here. Let me take me off. Take me off. Get that full screen going on here. And y'all let me know if you see the transits. Before I came live, let me take off that little media assets here. There we go. Now this should be better. Should be better. Okay, yeah. Yep. And I think my pen is working. Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. So today, I don't know if you know about this or not, but there was a shooting out of school, Minnesota, and we're going to look at that together. I think one person is injured. I could be wrong. It could be even worse. early morning. Yeah. Oh. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Lord. Okay, let's look at the videos for it. This was 2 hours ago. Okay, let me see if I can find. Okay, this is a video, but it's not gonna, hold on. Let me remove it. Hold on just a second, because I want to be able to, let's listen to this together, because I want to talk about the transits of this. Because Sebastian is in transit today with a lot of attention. And of course, you never know why. This is the only thing that I've seen today. And if you guys see anything else today, let me know. Please. Please let me know. Hold on. Window. Chrome tab. Man gets emotional. Okay, let's see if we can hear this.
Get $3,000 customer cash on a new 25 Tundra.
Of course, we got to listen to the
APR
commercials
financing.
too.
Toyota. Let's go places.
Let's see if it shows up. It's from CBS News. See if it will play. If not, I'm going to look.
Let's get you to some breaking news, because Stewartville Public Schools in Minnesota, they are closed today because of an emergency at the high school campus. The superintendent says there was a shooting in the parking lot of Stewartville High. Officials say there's no safety concern at this time, but they held this press conference just moments ago. So let's listen in.
So at approximately 5 a.m. this morning, our dispatch received a call that a person had been shot in the parking lot of the Stewartville High School, located at 440 6th Avenue Southwest in the city of Stewartville. Our deputies immediately were dispatched and responded to the scene. Deputies learned as they arrived that 2 people had been shot in the parking lot. Deputies, school staff, Stewartville first responders, Stewartville Fire Department, and Mayo Clinic Ambulance all responded to the scene and provided medical care as quickly as possible. A juvenile male victim was transported to St. Mary's Hospital in Rochester by Mayo Clinic Ambulance Service and went immediately into surgery. The initial investigation revealed that a bus was in the front of the school getting ready to transport the wrestling team to a meet. One of the teammates was walking in the parking lot when a gunshot was heard by others. The victim was located on the ground in the parking lot, I might add, by coaching staff. As other staff and students were looking around at that moment to see what had happened, they heard a second shot. An adult male was located laying on the ground nearby with a rifle in hand. The subject appeared to have suffered a self-inflicted gunshot wound. This subject was then pronounced deceased at the scene. A reunification center was set up with the assistance of Stewartville school staff. The students were reunited with their families as soon as possible. And additional counselors and chaplains from our chaplain corps and the Rochester Police Department chaplain corps responded and assisted at the reunification center. All students and parents have been reunified at this time. For the victim's family, the student that was transported to the hospital, they have given us permission to release this much. He is in the hospital, he has been in surgery, and he is in critical but stable condition at this time. I cannot go into any other details from that point forward. The sheriff's office has been in contact with both families of the involved parties as well, so including the party that was deceased at the scene. We have been in communication with them, and they are fully cooperating at this moment with our investigation. The sheriff's office will continue the investigation and the events surrounding this incident to understand what took place and provide possible answers going forward. Our condolences go out to everyone here behind me that they represent. Sorry, it's emotional.
All right, I want to bring in CBS News correspondent Tom Hansen, who's following.
That is so sad. Let me hear about what time that happened again. Hold on. I can't remember if they said 5:45, 6:45.
Emergency at the high school campus. The superintendent says there
Let's see.
was a shooting in the parking lot of Stewartville High. Officials say there's no safety concern.
Okay. Now, let me just Google it. Let me Google that. See what time it took place. Let's see. A separate, hold on, Stewartville High School parking lot, that occurred at 5 a.m. Then there was a separate shooting at the Annunciation Catholic Church in Minneapolis that occurred. Okay, that was August 27th. Okay, never mind. So that happened 5 a.m. this morning at Stewartville High School. Let's see. In Stewartville, Minnesota. Okay, so we're going to pull this up at 5 a.m. just so we can see what it looks like, because we need to. So today is 12/12/2025, took place at 5 a.m. God, that's awful early, 5 a.m. What was a teacher and a student doing in the parking lot at 5 a.m.? 5 a.m.? Weird. That's what it said, 5 a.m. Adult male. Why were they at the school at 5 a.m.? Huh. Interesting. Let's see. Let's see if we can find out anything else. Let me see if we can find out anything else. Jeez, man. Hey, Amy. Hey, NorCal, Kiki, Crafts and Crime. Good to see you guys. Okay, so let's look at this. This is Fox 9. Credit Fox 9.
Investigation in Olmsted County that shut down a middle and high school this morning.
Yeah, we've just been able to confirm in the last 20 minutes, law enforcement is investigating a shooting. Chanu Her is in the live center with what we've learned in just these last few minutes. What do you know, Chanu?
Yeah, we've learned just within the last 15, 20 minutes or so, according to Superintendent Belinda Selfors, the superintendent of Stewartville Public Schools, a shooting happened in the parking lot of Stewartville High School and Middle School at 5 o'clock this morning. She says now law enforcement, they're working with law enforcement right now, helping with the investigation, but they can't provide any more information right now as deputies and investigators continue to look into what happened this morning. But what they can tell us is that there are no threats to students, staff, and the public at this point. So we take a look at a map that we put up right here on your screen. You can see Stewartville High School about an hour and a half south of the Twin Cities Metro there, so in the Rochester area. Now, we do know that according to just a quick Google search, the high school and middle school there, they share the same address. It appears that they are right next door to each other. So it kind of makes sense why both schools were shut down, because law enforcement are investigating that shooting that the superintendent said happened early this morning in the parking lot. Now, as we get to some video of the scene this morning, a video shared with us from KTTC TV in in Rochester. You see there the law enforcement presence this morning in that area, blocking off the road, kind of building a perimeter around the school this morning. We do know that law enforcement are still there. Earlier this morning, they called it a critical incident. So now we know, according to the superintendent, that it was a shooting that happened in the parking lot at 5 a.m. So at 9:31 right now, we are still working to learn more because the superintendent did not specify in her message about what happened. We are still working to learn the number of victims, the ages, if they are not students at the school, and also a motive. What led up to this? So we have crews heading south now to Stewartville, and we will continue to learn more on this, and we will have continuing coverage.
That's insane, man. Why were they there at 5 a.m.? Of course, people are making it political in the chat of Fox 9, but it makes you wonder why are they there at 5 o'clock? What time is it open? Stewartsville. Hi. Ugh, what in the hell? 8 a.m. 8 a.m. $5 o'clock. That's crazy. That is crazy. Okay. All right, back to sharing my whole screen. Let me get rid of that. Get rid of that. So we're about to look at this. All right. Insane, guys. I don't like that. That gives you. It doesn't mean it gives me the heebie-jeebies thinking that this shooting would have taken place at 5 a.m. Dang. Okay, let's look at it. Let's look at it with Minnesota's chart. Minnesota is going to be on the left. Shooting is going to be on the right. Okay. In regard to Sebastian, okay, this is what is in transit for him. The 2922 with Neptune. It is sitting on his Venus at the same degree in Capricorn. That 456 that he has in his midheaven, his IC, that 456, it's actually also here. There's a transformation with the public image with Sebastian. And it has been for days, and it's going to continue to be for days. But today, that 456 is showing up ×2. And so that Leo energy could be about school. It could be about school. So it makes me wonder when thinking about, right? When thinking about what we know with Minnesota. And of course, I'm going to see if there's anything else that's going on with schools today. Not just this one, but when it comes to, let's look at it real quick. 2335, 2337, that's where Jupiter is. So Jupiter, it looks like Jupiter out of 2337 is coming down into the 2335. What else do we see here? Sebastian also has a 2904 in his chart. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Mars is coming against him. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Oh, God. It's something going on with him today in school. What else is there? What else do we see? I know that Juno at a 2349 in Sag, this is where the values are. 2349. She had already come over the 2347, so there's already information. She had already come over this 2343 in the 11th house. I don't know. I'm just working this out. Hold on just a second. Just looking at this. Interesting. $154. Where is, there's that. God, there's so much. There's so much that, you know, I'm not going to claim that I know why this took place, but I mean, I think that it's kind of evident why it took place, why they were both there at 5 a.m. Really sad. Really sad that the teacher abused his power in such a way that's so sad. So sad. The moon is here. South Node is here. South Node is here in the 8th house of death, rebirth, regeneration, other people's money, things that are hidden. Hidden sex. Lots of information's coming in. This is the pew pew right here. The communications, the values, courts, the higher learning. And the weight, it looks like the weight had just lifted from that 1515 to the 1514. And that's the 5th house of kids. This is actually the 5th house of kids right here. The transformation with the 2. The sun is shining here. The sun had just went over the dark moon. Relationship had just went over Ceres. I'm going to look at Sebastian real quick. Because today is the day that I'm watching for a lot of emotional publicity, you know, could be about school. And then we're going to get into summer. Let me go over Sebastian though with these transits right now. Let me start them right now. Oh, no, not that one. Let me start them right now. What we can see right now, because the TBI is still in transit. They've been in transit most of the day. And I want to show you Sebastian today. Then we're going to get into summer. Because the TBI is looking like they are fated with communications. They are fated with communications today. So as you can see, the dark moon at a 2906 here in the 7th house of relationships and partnerships. That 2906 has already went over the 2904. It's made contact. And this is where we could be learning things that could be transformative in the public eye was Sebastian. Like I said, this 2922 with Neptune and Pisces, things of the past, prisons, hospitals. The 2922 is making contact with this Venus in Capricorn. So it could be about values, things of ownership, things that we own, things that we possess, things that he possesses that we have to dissolve. So phone, money, flashlight, whatever, something that he would have, something with evidentiary value that is hidden with the investigation. I can tell you right now, though, the Homeland Security has got a lot of energy going with it right now. Lots of warring energy with Homeland. No doubt about it. There's some sketchy shit going down with Homeland. We're rising in Taurus right now. So again, it's about things of value, money, things that we own, things that he owns, things that Sebastian could possess. If you wonder if Sebastian connects to Minnesota, he does. There's a breakup right here. That 2439 is in the 6th house, is every day. It begins with the 350. That 12th and 6th house is going to have, any axis with like Aries and Libra, they're going to have the same degree. Okay. So this 456 that's in transit is actually opposing the mom, the home, and drugs, alcohol, things of that nature. So if you hear a bunch of chatter about drugs and alcohol, that's why. That's why, because there's an opposition with mom and home. That's why. There was a wake-up call this morning. Let's see when that took place. There was going to be a wake-up call with this 3rd house of communications, the 1701 that goes to Utah. There was just a wake-up call about groups. This is now over summer. So it's about a future investigation, the future wake-up call with us, with we the people, with groups is coming. There is definitely a relationship here at a 2357, and that 2357, like we just saw, it goes to the 2354. So there's already been that relationship that made contact. And I'm just wondering if that student is okay. Just really wondering how this is going to work itself out. But the, not Minnesota. I was looking at another school. Hold on. Yeah, it is Minnesota. Yeah, that's right. Here it is. It's the wisdom of Poseidon in the 7th house of relationships and partnerships in Leo. So that 2439, there is a breakup with Minnesota and relationships. That 2439 is how he is connecting to the state of Minnesota. So we'll look at that on his map. Of course, I don't think it has anything to do with him at all, but it could be a clue. It could be a clue for us because there is a lot of attention, a lot of transformation with health and home, endings, hospitals, possible abuse of power, right? Possible abuse of power. So that 2439, like I said, it's the wisdom of Leo and the relationships. And there is Sebastian, there's this breakup. So that is how he is connecting. That Mars this morning was a 2751, and it was opposing him. It was opposing him here in the 8th house with all of these problems, all of these communication problems that he has with being able to communicate with the outside world. And again, this 350 is coming with a lot of energy with Tennessee and with Sebastian. So it's coming, you know. What was 30 minutes ago? What was 30 minutes ago? The one in Minnesota was 5 a.m. Yeah. What was 30 minutes ago, Michelle? Let me know. What you mean? Let me know. At night posted 30 minutes ago? Okay. Okay, let me see what's up with that. Lord. What are they doing? At night. Let's see. In shadows deep, where secrets hide, a boy's lost trail, suspicions wide. Eyes fix on the wife with gaze so keen, but turn away. She's not the queen. Seek the kin by blood, not vow. The sister's veil conceal somehow for brother guards with fierce intent, not bride but blood, his true descent. Okay. Still missing, still laughing. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's definitely not that's not what I'm seeing today. That's not it. Mm-mm. What we're going to see now is Venus. Venus is going to make her way at a 15-degree in Sag, and she is going to come over all of these in this first house with his life path. She's going to, Venus is a personal planet, and so is Mars. So it could be an evidentiary value with where he went, where he traveled to. Venus is going to come not only at that Mars, but with his Cupid, his sun with Vulcan. And again, the TBI is in transit. So the TBI is here in the 5th house of kids with school. Up here with groups. Up here with groups in the 11th house. What? There's the 1650. We know where that goes. Well, some of us do. 2335. Okay, so now Jupiter is going to come and oppose. That's right. I remember this now. Jupiter is on its way to oppose his own Jupiter, which is Terry Bowersox. Terry Bowersox. And I say that because Terry Bowersox has that same 2329 in his chart. So it's going to expand. That's what it is. It's, okay. It would probably more than likely go to like his family, like Greta, like his maternal. So that would be like Greta Bowersox, her properties, her land, her home, possibly. Possibly. But Jupiter is going to oppose these values here. That means that the law is going to come against Sebastian and those values. Let me see when that happens. That's a 2329. Let me see when that happens. That's a Terry Bowersox energy with Sebastian, 2329. That'll be tomorrow. This time tomorrow. And Venus will have already made it to that Vulcan at a 1614. God's will is being done. It goes over Yeah, right here. Right there. Hmm. I definitely see Crabtree in this transit tomorrow, December 13th. Interesting. Okay, we'll watch this. We'll watch this because this is showing up in the fifth house of kids, school. And of course, Sebastian's going to be that major transformation with his public image is in transit for the next 4 days. It doesn't let off until I think it was the 16th, wasn't it? I think it was the 16th. And there's a lot going on with Summer here too. Summer Wells. So the Venus is going to come to the Vulcan. I when I see Vulcan, this is Vulcan right here. When I see Vulcan, I think of God's will being done. And so Venus is going to be coming to sit on that Vulcan with Sebastian. She's already, by this time, she's already made it over his sun, made it over his Mars, his desires with Cupid. And the other thing that I want to tell you as well is that right now, it's not just the TBI that there is a fate with, okay, when it comes to Sebastian. Right now, there's also a fate with Michael Proudfoot because his Neptune is a 1311 and it's in Scorpio. So according to Sebastian's chart, it could go through Mississippi, Louisiana. So I want to make sure that we've got that. We're looking at this, because this 456 is a 24-hour transit. It's a collective transit. This is with a lot of emotions, a lot of publicity, this is, Leo is public attention, but it's also school. It's also having to do with school. Not only does the TBI and Michael Proudfoot have this 1311, so does Summer. There's other countries that have it. That's why I say it's very intense. And as Mars makes its way to an intensity in Sagittarius, the intent it's gonna pick up the warring, the fires, the crashes, things of that nature, planes, explosions. This is igniting. Mars and Sag it's igniting. Sebastian also has his Mars and Sag. It's a lot of fire. It's igniting. I want to turn you to Summer. First, let's look at the TBI because I think that there's movement. We may not hear about it today, but I think that there is definitely movement. Let me show you something else. Hold on. Let me make sure. Okay. So today, this 1311, the communications about home, 1311 in Capricorn. That's going in the 9th house. That's going to the DA, other countries. It's going far. That 1311 is fated. and has been faded all morning. In fact, these lunar nodes usually move quicker, but they've been at that degree most of the day today since this morning, which is, they're slow moving today. You can see that Mars at a 2807 in Sag, Mars is actually here in the 8th house of death, rebirth, regeneration, other people's money, things that are hidden with the investigation, with the judge, with the DA. The dark moon at a 2906. That dark moon has already went over and made contact with their dark moon this morning at a 2902. That took place this morning. I definitely think that there's movement. Here's the thing. This 2521 with Saturn in the 12th house. There's that 2521 is coming to their ascendant degree. And Kathy Bowersox also has this 2521, 2522. And she connects to the TBI's ascendant, that 2522. So, and it's with her Jupiter. It's with her Jupiter. Her Jupiter in Taurus sits here. Kathy Bowersox does. Well, there's limits and obstacles coming with the TBI and her. It could be the chatter about Enoch Way, about the cemetery, about, things of that nature. It could definitely be about that. But as we just saw, tomorrow Jupiter is opposing Sebastian with that expansion with the law. Those are the challenges right now for both of them. And not only that, there's challenges with the fate that Michael Proudfoot is hiding, whether that be about other people's money. I don't know what it is. Only he knows. Only he really knows. I don't see that there is any big shakeup with Uranus at a 2835. I mean, I'm not looking at Melissa's chart. I'm not looking at Brian's. I'm not looking at Cassie's. I'm not looking at anybody else's, but I can definitely see that the movement with Sebastian, with groups, with school, there's something going on with him today. And I think it has to do with school. I don't think it has anything to do with the chatter online, or I'm hopeful anyway that it doesn't. That is actually something really good that could be coming his way to liberate him from wherever he's at and bring him home. That's my hope, that is my hope. So as Saturn comes over and connects to this degree, it's not going to hit the TBI like in a major way. It's not going to hit Kathy Bowersox in a major way. It's just there's going to be limits, restrictions. And it's about them with Kathy. Could be about medicines. Because, tomorrow there is this expansion with Terry Bowersox could definitely be about his values, Terry's values, putting his values on Sebastian. I mean, that's definitely possible. Definitely possible. See if I'm missing anything else. Because I know in about 5 days, 16th to 17th, that's when there is a lot of magnetism and a lot of intensity with the TBI and their work. It's coming. That is going to come. Let me tell you when that happens. $26.09, because I'm about to get into 789 right there. So that's the 20th. Okay. So that's the 20th. I'm going to save that. We're going, there's going to be a fate with Utah. There's a fate with Utah. I can see that because the lunar nodes are coming down to the 1245. Utah rises with that degree. Most definitely. Rises with that degree. And they're going, and this is, okay, we'll get to this. I'll have to look at this a little bit more, a little bit closer and see what all is showing up here. Yeah, we'll have, this is going to be a Saturday. There's going to be a lot of intensity with the TBI on this day, December 20th. A lot of intensity all day. It's going to start out with relationships and it's going to go through Sunday. So Saturday and Sunday, not this weekend, but next weekend, very intense for the TBI. Okay, let's move it back. Let's move it back because I want to get back on summer, because I've looked at this morning and I was like, wow. Let's look at the no, yeah, let's just look at the TBI right now. I mean summer right now. Summer Wells. Oh shoot. I did it anyway. Where's she at? What is that moose with the horn? The 3 horns. The moose with the 3 horns. Don't know. Okay, so check this out, guys. Okay, so her 1311, it's about a relationship behind the scenes, working behind the scenes. And of course, this is about relationships. This is about law. This is about justice. And her 1311 is a relationship in Scorpio. This could be about a pond. It could be about trash. It could be about things that are, it could be about being down in a basement, being somebody's lover, as sick as that sounds. Right? It's very sick, but it could be. It's definitely about things of the past. Definitely about things of the past. And this 1311 in Scorpio is the same degree as the lunar nodes with the TBI. So it's their connection, Summer's connection with the TBI. Hey, his eyes. D Green, good to see you guys. Paige, good to see you, honey. Hope floats. Do the Sox have any siblings? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. He does. Sure does. The other thing that I want to show you with Summer is her Mars. This is about her body. This is about the action, the vehicle, and there is a devouring energy all day, today and tomorrow, with that vehicle, with her body. And it's in Scorpio. So again, we could be talking about trash, ponds, hidden sex. The Vesta and Divine Justice, they're both 14 degrees right here in the 9th house. Those 14 degrees in Capricorn, well, they have already come over her Venus, but they are marching to a lot of transformation when it comes to her dad, when it comes to work, when it comes to an older male. And there's a shakeup. There's a shakeup with groups. There's a shakeup with groups right now out of 1714, shaking up her groups. There's just been a relationship out of 2356 that has went over her 11th house of groups with the law enforcement and her health, about the endings, possible water. There's a relationship that has just went over. So it almost seems like, okay, because today, I don't know if you remember this, but today, Poseidon is on is at a 1653. So yesterday, all the wisdom was with Don Sherfy Jr. Don Sherfy Jr. All the wisdom was with him yesterday. And so today, the wisdom has moved off of him. But this 2248 is where he has a lot of transformation in the public eye, and he's wounded. He's wounded here with all that public information. And so I've often wondered, is the TBI getting any information from him from jail? Are they getting any information from him? There's a wounding that he has today. He's had it all morning. And in fact, there is this enlightenment with Apollo, the physician at a 717, Apollo in Scorpio. That's with his dad, Sherfy Sr. And this is a 24-hour transit. Now, let me show you why I'm saying it's Sherfy Sr. and Sherfy Jr. So you can see what I'm talking about. I've pulled up the Sextons just to look at their property again, because I think it's the Sexton property. Okay. Where's he at? Got Paul Hill, Joseph Hill, Randy. Got Randy Hill, got Candace, got Dawn. I'm ready to get. Where are they at? Okay, let's go back up. See where I'm at here. Where's Sherfy? Oh, here we go. Sherfy Jr. Transits. So like I said, this 2248 that he has, that is a major transformation in the public eye, this is where he is wounded. He's wounded with things from the past. While there is communications about that vehicle, about the body. It won't be long because Neptune is at a 2922 in Pisces, but it won't be long. And she's going to come against his magnetism. She's going to come against it. Sure is. Going to come against it. So as the 2248 comes down in degree, it's going to come to this degree, this 2224. And there's going to be a lot of communications about him. This wisdom that he had yesterday, that's the 1652. That's where the wisdom was with his physician that brings enlightenment to the police department. I'm pretty sure that he's talking. I don't know. I could be wrong. I could definitely be wrong. But I think so. I have his dark moon at a 1311 in Pisces. Either way, that dark moon has already, no matter if it's a 1110, 1112, 1114, the North Node has already went over and was fated with this disordered aggression about acceptance, about endings, about prisons, about hospitals, okay? No matter. He has all of these 19s in his chart. Well, I say all these 19s. He's got these two 19s that are conjunct a 1934, a 1953. That's Vesta. That's Neptune and Capricorn. And eventually, won't be long, and there's going to be a justice with it because the divine justice is making her way in this house. Wherever it sits in his natal chart, the justice is on its way. And it's going to be a reigniting of a flame with him. And what's really interesting to me as this is all showing up in Summer's chart is these other people, these other players. And I do want to say that this Pluto right here at a 25-27, that's where Saturn is coming to. Saturn is going to make contact, going to be limits and obstacles with his Pluto. It's with his transformation. The transformation with the leadership when it comes to, let's say he's going up for, he's meeting with somebody today about maybe getting out. It's not looking like it. That could be what's going on with him. And it's just not looking like he's going to get out. He's got too much going against him. So if that's what's going on, yeah, it's not helping. Not going to help. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. And we can look at his dad today too. We can look at Sharpie Senior dad, Junior's dad. And we can see that today, all day, no matter what time he's born, this 717, there's a lot of devouring energy about communications. That 717 is in transit with a lot of enlightenment. So there's some enlightenment that Sharpie Senior has today, all day. And it's going to go into tomorrow. It'll go into tomorrow. Don't know what his lunar nodes are, but he's already had the fate of whatever enlightenment that's been given. He has it. He's in the know. He's in the know of something. Makes you wonder. Makes you wonder. There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of disordered aggression. There's a lot of warring that he has with his Pluto. No matter what time he's born, he has a lot of warring with the health, with the transformation of his health, of whatever is going on, whatever it is that's happening with his son in jail. I mean, as far as I know, Sharpie could be in the hospital or something. But that 29-29 is going to come to Sharpie Jr. with an opposition. And I watch him because I'll tell you why I watch him a lot with Summer is because he just shows up way too much. He just shows up way too much to not have some sort of clue. So this is going to be December 30th. Interesting. Let me look at this. Wake up call with the state of Tennessee is 9 o'clock. Let's look at this for a second. Let me look. 27. Okay, so I'm going to save this so we can talk about this another time. Lots of energy going with that 647. That's December 30th. $12.14. Yeah. Okay. Who is Sharpie? Okay, so Sharpie Jr. Let me show you who he is, just in case y'all don't know who Sharpie Jr. is. This is him. And as you can see, he is incarcerated. Summer went missing in February of 2021. He has an offense. He had only been out of jail not long, of exploitation of a minor. So right after she goes missing, he goes to jail. Interesting, isn't it? Interesting. Let's look at, this is he is doing time at the Turney Center, Hickman County Prison. He had all kinds of images of children, of kids, child P. So he likes kids. And I want to say that he had just gotten out. Let me see if I can, if it'll pull up anything else if I go to TDoc. Yeah, he's sick, man. He is sick. Let's see if it gives us any more information. This is what he looks like now. Biggin. What's going on? You eating a bunch of noodles. Eating a bunch of ramen noodles. So his sentence began in August of 2022. And it's supposed to end 2027. But I want to say he had only been out of jail for like a month when she went missing. And then right after she goes missing, he goes back to jail. So it seems kind of, you know, coincidental? No. No. Let's go back and see if I can find anything else. Aggravated sexual exploitation of a minor. The Sullivan County Sheriff's Office recently received tips from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children regarding child P being uploaded to the internet from a residence in Sullivan County. This was in May. Okay, so this is reported on Facebook in May. But the uploads were in April. As far as you know, that's what it looks like for me looking at it. Oh shoot, that's right. She was born in February. What am I thinking? Yeah, you're right. So if he went to jail, that's right. So she goes missing on June 15th. This is May. Hold on, let me see. Because he was out when she went missing. So I'm trying to figure that out, how he was out when she was missing. Maybe he was out on bond until his hearing. I don't know. Muddy Creek. Let me make sure I've got that on her map. I don't understand how he was out with her being, yeah, he does, Oni. Let me see. My Scribble Maps hasn't been working right since that stuff got called into the FBI. I'm just saying. It hasn't been working right at all. Let's see. Let me make sure I've got his address on there. So that's where he was living. Okay, so oh, Steve Jones, friend of Sharfie's. Okay. Okay, I do have him here. Okay, I already do. So this is the missing event. There's a relationship here that is opposing two people or possible communications with brothers, two people. Relationships of dads slow summer down with long travels. It opposes two or more with video, may represent burial plot or even river, possibly religious. And I know that one of his friends, Steve Jones, lived there too. So, and of course you can see that his line is going here. It says north no. There's the missing event. This would show that there's a relationship here. Who was the relationship, right? There was a relationship that came to her that opposed her, that slowed her down. And it was a 1423. His Jupiter is a 1423. So that's why I'm always looking at him. But here's where we're going to have a problem. How was he out? If he was charged in May, let me go back. Let me go back. Ugh. How was he charged? So he didn't actually start serving his sentence until August of the next year. He had to have made bond. Let's look. Hold on. Frank Light was arrested dealing with Sharpie. Okay. Okay, so she goes missing. This was 3 years ago. Okay, so I don't know if he's gonna, let's see. I don't wanna do that. Let's go to videos and look. So he was out. He had to have been out on bond. I thought he had been out like a month and then got busted again. I thought he was on parole or probation. Looks like I would be forced to do JLR or Michelle After Dark. Too many Dons. Don Sharfie Sr. See what this one is. Okay. Let's try this other one. This is too many Dons. That's funny. Yeah, it is too many Dons. But I mean, Don and Candace are also in transit with all of this that's going on today. I just, it's this guy that is a known predator of children. known predator of children. So, let's see what this Navalis true crime. All right, let's listen to a little bit of this.
Wasn't enough. We now have 3.
Can you look that up? Look what up, me and you. Yeah, it had to be a bond. All I know is he was out. He was not in jail when she went missing. That's all I know. It's been a long time, but I want to say, like I said, he had been out.
Let's talk about the other 2, Donald Sherfrey Sr. and Don Sherfrey Jr. It all kicked off during the week with the Sherfreys. I'm sure most of you have seen some piece of content on it. There's been a lot of content on it over the past few days. Kamen Ali from Cracking Cases first made a video on it and on some of their research, and then the following day Michelle made one, and a lot of people picked up Michelle's kind of video and ran with that night. Now Michelle wasn't taking anything from Kamen Ali's video. Michelle was actually sitting on this information for a few weeks. They were talking about it in our Facebook group. You don't need to be following anyone else other than Michelle to keep up to date on this case. Please go and watch our last 4 or 5 videos on our channel and you can kind of see this coming out and the story behind it. And if you prefer longer streams, check out Kamen Ali's. I'll link both of them below. But it's interesting that both of them separately came upon Donald Sherfrey Jr. Like I said, Michelle had been on about him for a week or 2 back in our Facebook group, and Kamen Ali started looking into his dad, Senior, when he approached the heels on the ground, because they just thought his demeanour was kind of odd, and that's how they came across the son. So what's the story with him? What's the story with Junior? He's the son of Don Sr. Don Sr. now lives with his long-term girlfriend and her mother. I'll show a map here, so it's very close. Just around the corner from the Wells. The girlfriend is not Don Jr.'s mother. However, she is the long-term girlfriend, we think since 2008, of his dad. So he's been there a lot over the years. However, he didn't grow up there, which I think is important. And I think he would have been about 14 or 15 when his dad first went out.
I refuse to watch her. Sorry, not sorry, same. I mean, you can see I'm trying to I'm trying, and it's not, it has nothing to, it's just her, just like I'm not following this guy too much either. And I'm really Southern. I'm stuck with a drawl. And I think that's why I'm kind of petty like that. It is the petty. That's petty. I know it is, but no offense, guys, but let me see if I can find another one. But it's like JLR, him, her, him, her, him, her. Here's one. Sherfrey Jr. and his friend. Let's see if this one is any better. Let's see if this one is any better.
Okay. So this Donald Sherfrey, I never can say it right, Junior, we're going to call him Junior, is looking really suspicious. Okay, so his father, we're going to call him Senior, he has an address somewhere else. I don't know where that is, but he most of the time stays with his girlfriend. He's a truck driver, so he's not always around. Sometimes he's out of state.
Right. Dad's a truck driver.
But her house, she lives with her mother, who is, I believe, Mary Goad.
Right. Mary Goad Sexton, and I have Mary Ann Cecil's birthdays. Just because, I mean, I know that they're gone, but I just, I want to see if it was fated for Summer to be on that property at any time, if that makes sense, But it is very chilling to look at the map of Summer and to see that property right there and to think that there could have been footprints. Don't know when those footprints would have shown up. It's just that he's sicko. He's a sicko. Nasty ass that likes kids. We can talk about everybody else, but he's literally doing time right now for it. And he was not in jail.
And Don,
He should have been, right? Because if those charges were already going downtown, Julie Brown in May of 2021, and she goes missing in June. Not good. Not good at all. Like, no.
Wells' mother was married to her brother, I believe, Mr. Goad. And they live 2 minutes apart. Actually, if you go and watch Cracking Cases, he shows you how there's a trail behind the bus that you can go down to, and it leads to the road that goes to their house. This tells me that Junior could have been watching Summer from afar. Now,
Yeah. He should have been locked up. Yeah, thank you, Jelly Bean. Thank you for chatting. I just did that. Hey, Joni.
Senior says that his son hadn't been to their house since early 2021. Well, it depends on what you consider early.
That's right.
June? I don't necessarily believe that he hasn't been there since early 2021 because after pornographic images, he was bonded out. And not a
And there it is. He was bonded out. He was bonded out. Oh, God. So that could have been why that Jupiter, his Jupiter out of 1423, her Saturn out of 1423, slowing her down with relationships because he was out on bond.
very high bond either for that type of crime. And since Senior worked as a jailer, considered him a law enforcement officer, but I don't really think that's what a jailer is. But in small towns, if you work at the jail, you're in the loop of law enforcement.
Yep.
And I imagine that there was a conversation between the sheriff and Senior about his son and the bond, and maybe, that he would be out.
Not only that, it's, Sheriff Ronnie Lawson's son was also, he also likes kids. Sheriff Jr. likes kids. We know that there are two people that have been charged, have done time for liking kids. Are you serious? Use your chapstick. Are you serious? I had no clue. What? Are you serious? You've seen more mugshots of Mary? Oh, wow. Wow. Unbelievable. Okay, I'll look into that. Wow.
Watch him, Sheriff. Just let him out. He made a mistake. That's what he said. He made a mistake. He mistakenly downloaded 1,000 images of child PORN. That's not a mistake. That's a sick perv.
Yeah, he's a sicko.
But anyway, I've been lost where I was going with this. Oh yeah. Say that he told him he looked. That's why there's no evidence of a abduction or anything else. The sheriff flat out said there's no evidence of anything. I just think he needs to be looked into because he hasn't even been questioned. And another suspicion.
Wow. Wow. Okay, so we've got to find this. I've got to find this. Let's look. Let me show you the map. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to look at I'm gonna have to Google that, girl. That's tripping me out. What? What? Okay, let's go to the property. So that's his. That's where he was at. Muddy Creek. That's where he was arrested. So he's got, this is his south node where he's been with the Gemini. Where he's been is with the Child P. That's that south node that he's fated with. And then there's this is the Mercury in Gemini, actually. The Mercury in Gemini, relationships of dads, slow summer down with long travels, opposes 2 or more with video. It's him. Weirdo, sicko. So when we come down and we look at her property, it's right here. This is the property. Shakeup. The FBI rises here. This is, okay, so Sharfie's Jupiter is here. That Jupiter, okay, his Jupiter, that's a 1423. That Jupiter that's a 1423 is going right here. It's going right there. And it is this line that would have slowed her down. And so we can walk all the way up. And there's his north node. He's going this way. He's going this way. Wow. Where's that property again? Let's keep on going. Where am I at? Van Hill is right here. See, I've got, if I was, looking at him, where's that at? It's right here. Don Wells is there. Sharfie's Pluto and Scorpio. FBI. TBI. Okay. So go to, where should I go? I didn't even know she was a neighbor. Go to busted website, Hawkins County. Yeah, I don't see her. Mary Frances. No way. I'm wondering if it's somebody you're thinking of that's not her. No way. No way, y'all. Look at her. Kingsport, Tennessee. Are you thinking about her daughter? Use your chopstick? Yeah, I don't know. Mary Sexton. No way. So something going on in Kentucky, Montgomery County. No, I'm not finding anything on her. Columbus, Ohio. That's not her. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not finding anything on her though. But I do wonder if Sharpie today is doing anything, if there is anything going on with that property today. With the TBI, with Sharpie Senior. Let's look at Randy Hill, because I know that there's an opposition that's coming to Joseph. Let's look at Randy. Hold on, let me go back to Summer. Summer Wells. Transits. We're now an hour later. Let's see. She has that 646 in her chart. I think he has the 647. Let me look. This justice, I want to see what it looks like when it gets to her Pluto. The values. And see, all of this could be about that child P. The Aquarius, the Gemini, with that intensity in that 8th house, including this 1256, that could put us in Virginia for sure. Huh. Lots of devouring energy at home, shaking things up on a property. There's going to be a relationship here with these desires. Okay. What else? And the moon is now in Libra. Okay. Moon just came into Libra this afternoon. Let's see. See, is this 1423 that was in transit with a relationship when she went missing? That 1423 was in transit with Juno in Sagittarius when she went missing. That means that there was a relationship that slowed her down. Somebody ran over her, somebody took her, okay, and they went outside of her neighborhood. And that 1423 is also found in Sharpie Jr.'s chart with his Libra. So where you're seeing that line, and I said that's his Libra line, that is it on the map. Where's the fishing spot? Where did they find the exact fishing spot? Because where I thought I found it early on may not be the same place, but where I thought the fishing spot was right here. Hold on. Oh, it wasn't for me, it wasn't on Van Hill. I didn't find a fishing spot on Van Hill. I mean, there's the mother. If you're talking about the one that Dolly showed, it wasn't on Van Hill. It was in Kingsport. I figured out where that one was, but if you're talking about another one, I have no idea. Dunno. But this is definitely Sharpie right here. Deep transformation, trash pond, all things investigative, dealing with Sharpie's desires to hide and to hinder. And of course, you can see it's right next to this property. And I do have hot spots up through here. I even have one up through here to find her. Let's see. 114, 105. Where did I just see that? Jesus. Oh, damn, Mercury. And that's in an opposition right now. So what's going to happen is this 1650 is coming into the 1652. And that 1652 is Sharpie Jr. That 1652 that was in transit yesterday, he is going to be learning something. He's either going to learn something or he's going to teach something because Selena is a teacher. So it won't be long. And he's going to learn something, teach something. There's that 1256 with Summer right there. There was just information coming in. So it could, I'm thinking that they're on to something today and we may not hear about it until another day. We just may not hear about it. God, I'm hopeful. I'm really hopeful. Really hopeful that if something good is going down. All right, let's stop it. Let's stop it. Let's go to Randy Hill. And the transits right now. Let's see if we can find anything that is in transit with him. $25.56. God's will is being done right now. $25.56. Is that the FBI? Yes. So there is something that has taken place with the FBI right this moment. Their Vulcan, their God's will is being done here in the 9th house with the courts. That 2556 is in transit right now with Vulcan as well here in the 8th house. Oh, I pray too. Girl, we are all just like, come on, let's do it. There is a reigniting of a flame right now with the TBI. There is a reigniting of a flame here. We're learning something. There is also an Alabama, something going on in Alabama right now. Something is going on or is about to happen in Alabama. Also with Russia. Also with Russia. Oh my gosh, you steps outside hearing the chickens clucking, found stuck in the briar patch. One of them was stuck, or was one of them? Is that what you're saying? One of them was stuck? Oh my gosh. And so I guess you got it out, huh? Would you pick it up, or did it run off, or what? Oh, you had to pull the briars back? Bless it. Poor babes. I'm seeing the case that that I was talking to you guys about last night. I'm seeing that right now. I'm seeing that right now. And I can see one of the neighbors of Jennifer Lynn Fay, where she went to party, and her mama said, "No, she can't come out." Well, is there something hidden at that woman's house? I'm seeing that right now. Sorry. That was distracting. I'm sorry, but that I'm seeing it right now. And I did stop this, so I'll go back and look at it. I truly think that there's something good that is going on with Summer's case today. Can only hope. Okay, so Frank, I'm not really seeing a whole lot going on with him today, but what I am seeing is this 355. There's going to be a lot of energy coming to that tonight, tomorrow. And there is a letting go. What is that letting go going to look like? I don't know. I don't know. But I seriously don't see it. I don't see him with this energy like I do Sheriff Jr. I really don't. Or his dad. You know, because he and his dad are both in transit yesterday and today. And we have to, we have to ask ourselves why. What's going on with them? What is going on? And all we can do is speculate. Let's look at Joseph Hill, because he does have he does have an opposition that is coming. If I remember correctly, it was him. Yeah. There is, and it could be happening today. No, let me see. Let me see if it could be happening today with Joseph. Because that's a 24-hour transit. I think I've looked at this before, and I don't think it's going to move. I think it's one of them non-movers. But let's look at it and see. And that's if I even have his birthday correct. He would have been born same day as Sebastian. Same day as Sebastian. So let's look at this, because it could be that this is going to be more like it, because he would match Sheriff Jr. here with that 2929 with the past child P. I'm looking to see if this letting go with Sedna is going to be a 717 instead of that 718. Let me see. Yeah, it's a 718. So that's going to come in to transit tomorrow, and there's going to be an opposing force. And I'm just wondering if they're finding something that is leading them into a, like when I'm looking at the Hills, for example. It may not be that they had anything to do with Summer's disappearance, but somebody that lives close by, whoever would have taken her. But Joseph looks more, he keeps showing up in the transits with Summer more than anybody else in that family. And I don't know if I have Paul's birthday correct. I think I do. I think I have these people's birthday correct, but you never know. I could be in error. Paul with the transits right now. The 2333, well, Jupiter is about to expand. If this is his birthday on November 30th, 1947, y'all can let me know if I'm correct or not. But this birthday that I have would show that there's going to be a lot of transformation with him and his property today. Because Jupiter is at that degree, making contact, and Jupiter in Cancer is about the expansion of home, looking on that land. I would imagine that there's some, and if they're not there today, then there's something that they could have found. I think so, because there would have been a shakeup earlier. There was a shakeup earlier this morning, with that Chiron that he's got. And I'm just wondering if he has a Hygeia that's in Cancer at like a 119 or so, and Sharpie Jr. Where did he go? And Sharpie Jr., I've got Sharpie Jr. having a relationship at a 119. Then I do wonder what that's going to look like when Hygeia gets there around that degree. You know what I'm saying? Because it could be another, it's not going to be too far off. But a 119, that would be coming in. Oh, that's going to be a while. That's on Friday. That's a week from today. Interesting. So that's a week from today. And there's going to be a divine justice. So we may not find out about anything that's going on today until next week. Let's look at this. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Let's look at that. Let's look at that, because I want to look at Sharpie Sr. first with this December 19th. And the reason why is because he has a Uranus that's around, it's in the 440. So it could be 441. It could be a 443. But what I'm seeing is there's going to be a lot of energy that is going to be coming to him early Friday morning to oppose the groups in the law enforcement. Huh. Wow. Okay, let me think about this, because that 1714 that she has in her chart with Uranus, there is a divine justice here that is going to be bringing a justice. Let me look at this. 26. Is that okay, so this is around the time Yes, this is the time that the TBI, remember, this is going to lead us into that weekend that the TBI has an intense experience that weekend. Huh. Because the TBI, that 2608, where Zeus is in the 6th house, let me go back to the TBI. Theirs is a 2609. That intensity with them. Where's the dark moon? Where's she at? Dark moon's at a 2953. 2950, 2953. Oh, Lord. The North Node is going to come on Sharfie Senior. That North Node at a 1248 is going to come down. No matter what time he's born, it's going to come down. He more than likely has that 2929 that matches his sun. With the communications with his son. Lord. The dark moon is going to be coming over Sharfie Senior's Neptune tomorrow. So tomorrow, around this time, there's a lot of disordered aggression, a lot of darkness with the hidden sex, other people's money, things that are hidden in the pond. So the 442, 455. Lots of warring. There's a lot of warring that's going on with that Pluto, that 2440. Lots of warring that's going on with that Pluto that he has too. And do you see how if we pull up and we're just, looking at the degrees, only the degrees, if we're only looking at the degrees. They're connecting to him more than they are these other people. They're connecting to his son, Sharfie Jr. Mercury is going to be at a 1039 in Sag during this time with Summer at 1039. Let's look at Sharfie Jr. Let's look at 1039 here. Because I'm looking for one in Gemini. I'm looking for a 1039 in Gemini. Or just a 1039. That would be fine. He could shine at a 1039. I don't know. He has a 1028. He has a 1035. Okay, so yes. Okay. So the 1035, Mercury is going to oppose all of those problems with those. Okay, let's look at that. 1035. Because no matter what time he's born, he has 1035 in his chart. And we're going to look at Mercury because Mercury is the media. Mercury is going to come and oppose him and his daddy. So there's going to be a really good opposition with him and his dad on the 19th. What did I say, 1035? Okay. So, yeah. So this is Nashville time, Friday, December 19th. We want to see what this is going to look like. It's in the 8th house, 1035. And Mercury is going to be in an orb. The moon is going to be in Sag. Oh, yeah. Right here. Boom. Bam. Interesting. So what I'm going to do is once I get off this live, I'll look at this. I'll look at it more. That way, when I do go live the next time, because this 119, I think, is significant with Paul Hill. I think it's significant with Sherfy Jr. I think that this opposition with Mercury is significant for Sherfy Jr. I do. I think that there's a lot of anger that is going on behind the scenes with Sherfy Sr. So could it be that I don't know. Don't know. Let me look at Candace on this day. Save it one more time just in case. Let me look at Candace. Yeah, write it down. 119. Well, it's going to be next week. Next week, 12/19. 12/19. All right, so Candace, where are you at? Let's look at you, girl. Where's she at? Where's she at? And we'll look at Dawn on the 19th, see if there's anything, because today, whatever is going on today is intense as shit. I mean, it really is. It's intense. With Summer's case. Okay, so she's going to learn something. On the 19th, she will be learning something that will transform her. It could be going into the 20th on Saturday morning. But she is definitely going to be learning something that is transformative. It could be in the public eye. It could definitely have to do with her. Would nothing surprise me? Nothing surprised me. 2534. We don't know what any of that is with the Saturn at a 2534. But this is in the 8th house of death, rebirth, regeneration. Other people's many things are hidden with the investigation. There's going to be a huge weight with communications with her on the 20th. So guys, I think that I'm kind of, I think so. I think so. We're going to see movement. Whatever is happening today, those communications are going to oppose him. Sherfy Jr. At the same time, there's a huge weight. See this 1507? That is with Hades. And Hades is just a weight of home. There's a weight. When it comes over one of your degrees, there will be things going on, especially with home or land. Home, land, property. And there's going to be a weight over her mental, her communications, having to do with two people. I remember now her mother's Venus. So Grandis Venus that connects to Utah is coming into the fate with the lunar nodes. She's going to learn something. Interesting. Damn, is it going to be her sister? Should I pull Rose up? Should I pull Rose up? Is she going to come out of the woodwork? I mean, golly. Yes, 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 and more yes. So Jupiter at the 2330s today, she's learning something. She's learning something. So she would be in the know, I think, about what is going on with the TBI today. She would definitely be in the know because Jupiter is expanding that teaching with her. She's definitely learning some things today. But this is going to be a divine justice with the with summer. It's going to shake some things up. Pluto is going to be at my one of my degrees, so I know that when I tell you to write it down the 19th or 20th, we'll come back here. I can see that. Interesting. Let me look at Dawn, and then I've got to pull up Grandis. Got to pull her up because I can see her coming into the fate is coming back to when Summer went missing that day. And it does go that the lunar notes are coming down with Grandis and Utah. I don't know where she's living now. I think she's in Georgia. I can't even remember. Going to be a lot of disorder aggression, a lot of darkness with Dawn this weekend coming into the 19th. Most definitely. There's going to be some enlightenment with Dawn tomorrow. And whatever it is, it's going to be dark. It's going to be dark. I know that everybody gives them hell, and I don't blame anybody for doing that at all, because they are some sick individuals. They don't, Dawn and Candace are, I have my own opinion about them and the way that they I guess tried. I can't even say raise their kids. They tried. Very selfish. Lots of God, there's such a weight. I don't know. I don't know if it's, I know that Mars, about the truck, about the business, about the work. Going to be a lot. Mars is coming to this degree. So Mars on Friday is a 324. But Mars is definitely, no matter what time he's born, Mars is going to be coming over and sitting on his dark moon in Capricorn, because Mars is going to be in Capricorn. His dark moon is in Capricorn. Not good. Lots of disordered aggression about work, coworkers, businesses, like that tree cutting place. Huh. Damn, it really is making me want to pull that girl. Is she going to come out of the woodwork or what? No way. Surely not. Let's look at Grandis. And thank you guys for being here. Thank you so much. I know it's a lot more, it's different. We got a different channel over here where we watch, we observe. And let's look at this woman. Because her Venus is either a 1244, a 1245, or a 1246. And I would say that this wake-up call is probably going to be a 1506 like her daughter. She's probably going to be connected more to her daughter. So I would say that she's probably born a little bit earlier. Probably a little bit earlier. Her lunar nodes are a 256. Her magnetism a 229. But this Venus in Aries, that's where the lunar nodes are coming down. And because of the Utah connection that they have, I would say that it does, her Venus is, it could be connected to Utah. I mean, maybe Wisconsin too, but again, I'm just not, I do see like when I stopped it right at Sherfy Jr.'s opposition with Mercury and this 119 that was in transit, on the 19th. When I stopped it at that moment, I can see that there's information that is coming in with a 2546 in Taurus and the 7th house of relationships, 2546 in Scorpio. And there's going to be some enlightenment no matter what time she's born. There's going to be whatever information is coming in. It's going to give her some enlightenment about what it is that they could have found or didn't find, for that matter. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. We'll just have to see how this is going to work itself out. But I'm thinking that there's going to be some intensity today that's going to roll over into the weekend. Not this weekend, next weekend. Let's look at the TBI one more time. Look at the TBI one more time. I know the FBI is with it too, so let's look at them on the 19th. $29.46. They should be getting information here. The 1909, the information that they get is going to bring them wisdom. And that's where there's going to be a big shakeup. And so before it hits the FBI, before it hits the TBI, because they share this 1909, let's go back up. Where's the TBI? They share that TBI. I mean, they share that degree, if I remember correctly. No, that's going to shake up the FBI. Hold on. Let me go back to, where's Sherfy? Yes. Shit. Where's Sherfy again? He's got a 1904. He gets the wisdom at 1904. TBI actually connects to the FBI through their enlightenment here about the 5th house of kids. Okay, look at that. Look at that. The Mars, look at that. So the Mars here in the 4th house of home, this could be suggestive of the car, the body, the attention on the body or the car. And that 2628 in Leo is going to be shaken up with a relationship. And that's, again, I'm thinking that there is communications communications with him, with Sharpie Jr. Who would, okay, so what? Hold on. Who was the dude? Who was the dude that I have on the map with Summer? Steve, what was his name? I put Sharpie's friend. What am I doing? What am I doing? Shit. Muddy Creek, 2408. Steve Jones. Steve Jones, Blountville, Tennessee. Steve Jones, Blountville, Tennessee. Let me see if I can find him. Steve Jones. And I may already have him. Oh, gosh. Is he an offender too? Ugh. It says he moved to another state. I don't think so. Surely not. I'm looking for his address, and I don't want to get in trouble showing you guys that. Stephen Jones. Muddy Creek. I think I got it. Dang it. Okay, hold on. Looks like, hold on. I'm looking for this dude to see if there's really any type of connection. 2400. 2400. Muddy Creek. I see a Jones, but I don't see him. Johnson City, maybe? I don't even know where I got the dude. Like, I don't even know. And I have another address on Muddy Creek. Let me see if this is him. And I don't think it is. I don't think so. Let me just try this. Let me try to see who actually lives at that address. Who lives? Hey, Shauna. Hey, girl. Good to see ya. Let's see who lives here. Yeah, it's definitely not. I think it's related to the Arnolds. Oh. It says Stephanie Jones, also known as Steve Jones. Okay. Related to. No way. It says Stephanie Jones, also known as Steve. Stephanie is known as Steve. Okay. All right. Yeah. I don't think so. Ain't no way. Surely not. Okay. I wonder who his friend. Okay, you know what I heard? I heard that one of his friends is Andy. I heard that one of Sharfie Jr.'s friends is Andy, Jody Sue's ex, Andy. And it makes me wonder. I don't think I ever found his birthday. Let me look at Jody Sue. Let me look at Jody that day on the 19th. See if we get anywhere here. Jody Sue. Yeah, that's right. Andy Bernard. Jesus. I put Andy Hill. I don't think I ever found his birthday. Everybody else, has their birthday online, but for some reason he's tried to keep his offline. I don't blame him, but still. All right. Yeah, if y'all find Andy Bernard's birthday, let me know. I haven't been able to find it. Did I just hear a cut? You just heard me sneezing. You heard me sneezing. I did it away from the microphone. I tried. I tried. I'm seeing. Okay, so I'm seeing a flame of life here. Is going to shake some stuff up. She's going to be shaken up. Interesting. 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 Okay, so looks like Uranus is going to be coming down to. Uranus is going to come down and shake things up with her Saturn, going to oppose her Saturn, her dad, her work, authority, money, transactions. And that Saturn being in Scorpio, Lord. And the dark moon the dark moon has already went over her. 27. Mars is going to come across what it is that she hides. I just don't see anything big. I sound like a chicken. You're funny. You're funny, Shauna. Real funny, girl. Real funny. It could have to do with the car with Jody Sue. It could also have to do with, I would say her kid, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know her kid. I just think that there's a major opposition with Sharfie. There's going to be a shakeup with a relationship with the TBI on the 19th. And of course, this could have something to do with another case, but I don't think so. I don't. I think I'm not looking at the other players that I may need to be looking at. Like, let me look at Arnold. Is it Jason Arnold? Chris Arnold? Trying to remember which case I'm in right now. Is it Jason Arnold? Chris Arnold? Okay, kind of looks like maybe it could be. Let's look at him. Now, he does have a 1248. We know that he's got brothers. If that's the same dude that I'm thinking about. Because there's somebody. I think that there would have been somebody else. There's at least two people, there's at least two people. Now, he does have the 1039. Mercury is going to come. Is he still alive? Let me look at him. I can't remember these people, man. I put Jason Arnold. There's Jason Jensen. Okay. Chad Arnold. Where's Chad Arnold? Chad Arnold. Okay. Let me see if I've got Chad Arnold. I don't know if Jason's a brother. I've got a Chris. I don't have Chad. Damn. Who are the Arnolds, guys? Let me look at our map. I got a Ronnie, Chad, and a Jerome. Okay. Not what I'm looking for. I never could find Chad Arnold's birthday either. And I know that one of them the man with first-hand info about Summer. The man with first-hand info. Chad Arnold. Yeah, I never could find his birthday, so that's out for me. I don't know. I just don't know. Jason Arnold. Is there a Jason? Let me pull up Rose. Well, interesting. On that day, Rose Bly, on the 19th, her white moon is going, the dark moon is going to contact. Look, she does have a 1422. probably more than likely a 1423. Just like Sharpie Jr. Interesting. And I bet maybe I mean, because who knows where this woman is? Do you think Jason passed after? Let me look. Oh, gross. That's definitely not him. Let's see. Jason Arnold. Well, there was a Jason Arnold found in 2017. Found in Creek in Churchill. Cherry Lane in Churchill. That was in 2017. Cherry Lane. Cherry Lane, Churchill, Tennessee. Let me see if I've got it anywhere. Jason Anthony Arnold. Jason Arnold is Chad's brother. There's Cherry Lane. And even though that happened before she went missing, even though that would have happened before she went missing, it seems like somebody did pass away afterwards, though, after she went missing. But even though, look, this is Cherry Lane. It's a faded line. There's a TBI. And of course, there's Sharpie with his Dark Moon with Jason Arnold. Chad Arnold. Let's see. Jason Anthony Arnold Churchill. See if that's him. I think it is. Yeah. Yep. He had disappeared. He had disappeared, and then they found his remains a year later. That's Chad's brother. Dang. Dang. Tennessee. Natal and Dawn. That's her Jupiter in Virgo. Dawn. Oh, Dawn. So Dawn's Chiron. Let me turn off the natal. I mean, it doesn't matter. You got Dawn. You got Sharpie. You got the FBI. He goes missing. And he is found right here. I could have sworn I had that, though. There was somebody else that had passed away after she went missing. And it seems like it was by a creek. I don't know. Yeah, it couldn't have been. Yeah, Grandis is definitely suspect. I mean, how do you have a daughter and a granddaughter go missing in one lifetime? You mean to tell me you got two in your family, both girls, and they go missing? So that's Jason. Okay, so that's Jason Anthony Arnold. And I wonder, 2017. Huh. Anyway, that's all I got. I've been on here for, over 3 hours. So I am going to jump off. I just wanted to come on here today and say, hey, there's definitely things going on. What it is. Wish I was God. Wish I knew. I'm definitely nosy. Wish I knew what was going on. All I know is that there's things that are taking place with Summer's case, things that are taking place with Sebastian today. And I hope that it's more than just chatter. I hope that whatever it is that the TBI is working on today, that it has to do with Summer or Sebastian, but they are definitely carrying a fate all day today. And they both Summer and Sebastian just so happen to be in transit with a collective, collective and personal transit. So it looks good to me. Let's just see, what transpires, But again, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. It means the world to me that you guys would hang out. You could be anywhere, but you're listening to astrology, listen to me yap, and you may not even know what the hell I'm saying. Cotton was found. Yes, he was. He sure was. Pretty suspect. But when you're dealing in a world of addiction, that's definitely going to happen. Definitely going to happen. There's only two roads that leads to, right? Only two roads. Death and prison. You're either going to go to prison or you're going to pass away. There's only two roads, and neither are good. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, guys, again, I appreciate your time listening to me, and I will be back in the morning for sure. I'm going to end this stream with Sebastian's anthem. Peace out, guys. Love you.
Clean like your soul won't be forgotten. We stand strong for you, never give up. Seek justice and truth. Day and night we search. Community gathers, wipe the tears away. Rise up for you, Sebastian strong. Sebastian's army, we march on. Each day comes and goes, hope in our hearts. You're never alone, we'll bring you home. Wish it was a dream, babe. It lingers on, but strength we carry will keep you strong. Rise up for you, Sebastian strong. Sebastian's army, we march on. Each day comes and goes, hope in our hearts. You're never alone, we'll bring you home. Wish it was a dream, hey, it lingers on, but strength we carry will keep you strong. Rise up.